Fever, away!
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to UGC Season 23 on KritzKast, here with me, jakeowaty and chando on the casting desk, and we will be casting the first map of the season, and hopefully a long season to look forward to, between Feila eSports and Gimme opponent, two teams that are currently playing for Highlander, the HL teams in Platinum Division, looking pretty strong right now. I mean, both teams containing a lot of good players here, a lot of big names. But, Chando, tell me, what can we look forward this season of UGC? I mean, obviously, we haven't been doing this kind of thing for a while. We've usually been focusing on ETF2L on the channels, but this time we decided, you know what? Wiethoofd is just going to work with KritzKast, which is a great idea in my opinion, and cast some UGC.
Yeah, I mean, you've really hit the nail on the head already. Casting UGC is going to be the first step towards maybe re-establishing UGC as something other than a meme. It's kind of fallen into a bit of a dire state in terms of the image it's been projecting itself as. But hopefully it can be coming up again as a more legitimate league, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how this season pans out. As for this game, as you already said, it's some really good players, and I'm seeing perhaps these two teams could be pitted against each other in the grand finals. Feila eSports, obviously, a lot of experience. Joe and Layla consistently coming back every season with different rosters sometimes, but they're always keen and they're always committed to doing the best they can. Imagine this season will be no different. As for Gimme opponents, you may not have heard of that name, but they are more or less, from what I can tell, an Envision style team. So Envision currently playing in the high bracket of ETF2L. They previously won high as well a few seasons ago, and they're taking a short break and they're back at it again. So both teams, a lot of experience, a lot of good players, and I think we've got an interesting match coming up today.
Yeah, precisely. Here, Feila eSports obviously containing quite a lot of SDCK's players. SDCK who did play yesterday. If you haven't watched it yet, you can watch VOD soon enough. I'm not gonna spoil the final result yet. You gotta figure it out one yourself. But obviously, we have people like Burn. You said you have Joe and UFC and Layla. And you have Jackie Legs. You have Spelly as well, Woolen Sleevelet, Yahoo is a really good roster all around. I see also Clark are gonna be probably playing for them today. Yeah, they'll be having some mercs, as Wiethoofd is whispering to our ear here. And on the other side, we have a team containing Stinghand, who is the leader of Gimme opponent. We have Kalis Murphy, an excellent demo man. He's been very, very consistent throughout the season and very strong force to reckon with. They have Tercio and Tommy, both players that used to play for the Polish national team as well, kind of friends of Stinghand, so, kind of bringing them together to make a full team, just based on the rosters, and that, mind you, does not tell us all the truth. Based on the rosters alone, Feila has a little bit of an edge over opponent, but we are playing on PL Borneo, and while I do love this map to the core, it was introduced to us a few seasons ago. It is a very long map that anything can change on it. A lot of choke points, a lot of different pathways. Can be a long game today.
Yeah, definitely one of the longer maps in Highlander at the moment. It can easily, each round can last 30 minutes upwards, and it can get a bit like fatigued for the players if they're stretching out a best of 3 and they're just playing really, really long rounds. So they got to be wary of that, and hopefully they're going to stay motivated throughout this entire game. But it's a great map. It came into the map pool a few seasons now in ETF2L and UGC as well, and it's been there ever since. And I think while most teams probably wouldn't put it at like the top of their choices, like I don't think any team really begrudges it, and it's certainly a very intricate map, if a little long, as you already said.
We're just waiting for the last players to join the teams. I do believe we have just readied up at least one of the teams. Currently containing pretty much all the players. On the left side, blue side of the map, blue corner of the ring, we're going to be having here Feila eSports here with Snow 8, Clark, Sandburn, Mezzo, Layla, Joe, Donut, who's Kaltu as far as I know, 147, I believe it's 0, and then Kaxu. I hope I pronounce all those nicknames right. I know they're a bit different from the UGC page, but you know, players in Highlander like to change their names. On the red side of the mat, right hand side of your screen, red turnbuckle, is Officer B's, Birdie, Sodium, Pharaoh, Nidstag, Tuja, Stinghand, Tommy27, and Murphy rounding it up. All the players are ready. Gates are down, getting ready to defend the first point.
Yeah, definitely. Some players to look out for this game. Koff XU, or just Koff, or Kunu as he's now called, I do believe. Very up-and-coming player. Played for Crazy Boy Clan last season, made his debut in Prem, and has really been contesting at the top Prem snipers, so definitely someone to look at this game. Also, as you already said, Murphy, again, another upcoming demo, just pounding insane damage in high currently. More than capable, I think, of contesting in the top half of Prem with the right team. So, once again, those two players from both sides are going to be very interesting. Stronate as well. He's a pyro who hasn't, I don't think he's actually made any touch in Prem, but he definitely deserves to be there. He makes a lot of good plays, and I'm hoping to see some good skill coming out from him. So we are about to go live now. You see the defending team, Gimme opponent, playing on that passive position. They're playing back in house, the sentry far back, and so's the entire combo. And on the flank side, we've just got the soldier there. And as the doors open now, new combo is already pushing up left side. They're trying to take some space up on that flank. Being pushed now, and Birdie being taken down the first pick. He's going to kill Joe before he counter snipes by Koff. Now with the sniper advantage, and Feila can maybe in there to hold a good sightline. Mezzo already drawn, takes down the Tuja, no envision combo, Gimme opponent, sorry, and they might already be looking at having to back up here. The sentry has already gone down, I do believe, or been pushed out, and the Gimme opponents are going to have to be backing up now already, but you've got Thero there playing in quite aggressively, trying to put some denial here, and I don't think it's going to be enough, and they either have to use the Uber, yes they are, but it might be too late. The counter Uber is going to come out on Stronate and Joe. Thero's going to get disconnected, and now they're going to have to back out a bit, looking at trying to get out here in vision. The Gimme opponent maybe should have just saved onto that Uber and backed out there, because they achieved absolutely nothing. They did manage to Uber out, however, and now Feila eSports pretty much just going to be pushing straight through here. Koff already getting gone to Birdie. He's going to free up any fear of sniper sightlines, but Gimme opponents already playing very aggressive now into house. It's been an incredible first point, and they're already taking the into second. The conch off, or yeah, that is the conch, already popped off, and Layla gets taken down by Sodium Sentry, just not looking at it. It was clear in the open, but no one paid attention to it, and it paid heavily.
Yeah, this push here by Feila eSports was actually pretty well executed. Both teams clashed over at the first point. First point being a little bit of giveaway by the team defending here. This time, Gimme opponent decided to kind of back out using the Uber. They managed to do so, and they actually managed to save their engineer as well. Building up on the second point with Sodium, getting a good pick here. Birdie taking down Joe, but look at this, Cooks gets down Nitstang. That is no medic for the defending team, which means, well, all the advantage you can possibly hope for. Here, Kaltu pushing into the sentry gun, kills it, including the engineer, just going with that Natasha on log. Very interesting choice by Kaltu, but looks like Feila will be able to push on the second point fairly easily because of that amazing pick.
Definitely off, turning up as expected, and now Feila eSports going to be cruising the cart nicely, capping second in a very astonishing time of 2 minutes 25. Certainly nothing to worry about for them, and they're already pushing their way up. You got Kaltu and Layla and Stronate now going to be holding in that lobby area. Kaltu pushing up, he is eager, he's a keen bean, and he's straight in there. Already now taking up onto balcony. Checking balcony, the spy, Tommy, trying to get the pick onto Layla, but he gets caught out by Kaltu, and they're already getting ready to push into house here. Joe now sticking up the stairs, getting ready maybe for another push here. Kaltu just enjoying a little sandwich before resuming the aggression here. The Uber's going to get popped out along with the conch. Straight up there, the sentry's only level 1, and that is not going to last long. Already taken down now. Thero trying to disconnect them as best he can, but he doesn't manage to get anything. Samburn actually playing soldier, goes for the bomb and takes down Nidstang. So Layla's going to hold a decent advantage at around 40%. This is looking incredibly good for Feila if they can just carry on this aggression. They might have to slow down a little bit, but I highly doubt that Gimme opponent is going to have any hope of taking back this third point.
Yeah, here Nidstag unfortunately being out of position again, and letting the engineer build on the third point, hoping to hold it. Very crucial point here. Sandburn trying to get a medic, but didn't quite manage to get Nidstag this time. But every single kill on Nidstag means a free Uber advantage for Layla, and they're using it very effectively, pushing into very aggressively, leaving the cart behind, and only the class that need to pushing it. Third point is a very easy point to hold. You can hold her for a long period of time, and Feila utilized this very good advantage that they had for some time. Use the Uber to push into the sentry, level 1 only, and now they're looking at the last point at only 3 minutes and 44. But then look at this, Joe walks in, shakes down in this stack again, and that is a free Uber for Layla going in, but a nice headshot by Birdie on Joe. This time and Tommy take down Sandberg, slowing down this offense of the blue team. Hey, here Feila are doing quite a lot of work, and they're pushing the card very far forward. Look how close the card is right now, considering. And now again, Nidstag just needs to stay alive for long enough to keep defending this point, allowing his engineer to build up.
Very good Uber there from Feila. Got the car in a very good position. If only Joe hadn't got picked off there, they may have been able to push that with their momentum straight into last. But they're going to be able to regroup and hold on a decent advantage at about 30%. Koff just dominating the sniper scene there. Now on a 10k as he takes down Birdie and Murphy. We're seriously a force to be reckoned with. Stingham going to go down, Tuja as well, Sodium as well. Now look at this, perfect opportunity for Feila to push in here for free. The sentry's not going to last long with no engineer. They got someone on the cart now. Spy, Tommy27 trying to go for a play here, but I don't think it's going to be enough. They're just pushing the cart straight in on a ×4. There's no one to defend it. That is it. 5 minutes time. That is possibly the fastest time on Borneo I have ever seen. What about you, Jake?
Well, yeah, this is one of the better times I've seen. I mean, Feila has not stopped pushing the cart for a second. Maybe bar the last point where they did lose quite a few players in that exchange, having nice kills for his team there, Birdie. Unfortunately for Gimme opponent, well, they were not able to stop this train from going. Layla was up, apart from that one death to the sentry on second point. She was kept going in. She had that Uber advantage all the time, and Nidstag was just not really doing a good job at staying alive, or maybe his team not protecting him that well. The team was pretty much scattered. Every single push of Feila was, when you look at Feila's pushes, every single time they were going, it was a death ball all together, getting all the heals necessary, and then just going for the right picks at the right time. And I do believe that was the key to success on this map here. 5 minutes and 6 seconds, as you mentioned, is a very, very respectable time, and that's going to be a very tough nut to crack for the attacking team here, the Gimme opponent.
Mission begins.
Absolutely. They're going to give it their best shot, though, no doubt, as the doors are about to open. We are about to go live here, and again, same sort of setup. Seeing on defense from Feila, the sentry being held a little bit further back, so it isn't at risk of being spammed too easily. And Koff playing with his combo there. He's gonna get, no, he's not. It's gonna be Mezzo that gets the first pick. My apologies. B's going down. Murphy too. Mezzo just holding that flank almost by himself and doing very good job there. Birdie, however, takes down Stronate. Might be a key pick if they need to put. The Pyros are very good on this first point for defense, so that sign's taken into account, but they haven't really pushed the card up far enough just yet. Now they're starting to work their way up left side and trying to get some space here. Tommy27 goes down, Birdie goes down, Sodium goes down as well. Nice chain stab there by Mezzo, seriously dominating this first team. But as I say that, Ubers are going to come out. Going to be a complete failure for Gimme opponent. Nidstag going to get out just about. He was falling on low health, and it looks like they haven't even scratched into the surface of Feila's defense at the moment here. Joe playing very aggressive, falling down very weak. 9 health. Does get taken down by officers. He hot on his tail. Nothing Bees takes down Joe. Maybe they're looking at a repush here, a dry push, some might call it, as Koff gets taken down. However, Birdie does go down in return. Tuja just holding that cart by himself. He's doing quite a good job. And Stingham also playing with him. He's fallen quite low, gonna have to play back behind that tree. But now Tuja just soloing on that cart, manages to get a nice 4k, and the sentry's gonna get pushed back, and they are going to get this cap. However, 3 minutes left. This is looking fairly grim for Gimme opponent right now.
Yeah, I mean, it was a very smart choice here by Feila eSports, pulling that sentry out without having to actually sacrifice it. It was a smart choice by Clark. You know, they don't have to really worry about the first point. It's the easiest point to cap. So they just simply do it. Here, Kooks taking down Tuja and Mezzo, actually taking down Birdie to 2 picks here before they even managed to push here, blue team. Gimme opponent looking pretty grim at the moment. Nidstack only on 10% here. Layla as well as some Uber exchange in the barnyard there. Both teams are doing, well, pretty good job here. Layla goes down actually to Murphy alongside with 147. Murphy still going in and trying to get Snow, but it was not quite enough. Lacked some pills there, and unfortunately didn't manage to finish the job, but he's still lurking around the barn. And while it looked pretty grim for Feila here, they managed to kind of rebuild. And look at the Clark center position. What an amazing position that is. Very difficult to spam and protected by his whole team just on this little balcony area. And very difficult for Gimme opponent right now.
But that being said, a good dry push there from Gimme opponent does take down the Feila combo, but it's not going to be enough as Tuja goes down, Tommy 27 as well, and the sentry's still up in a very good position at the moment. However, Koff gets piped by Murphy. Birdie takes down Kautu. A lot of kills coming in for the attacking team here. Bomb from Sandburn trying to get the pick onto Nidstang. Very nearly. In fact, Force is going to come out instead. That's just as good, perhaps. And Stronate is going to kill Nidstang as he tries to escape there. Very well played on the flank.
Yeah, it was well played there by Nidstang. He tried to do his best, but unfortunately dropped Murphy mid-push here a little bit too late. And paid with his life as Stronate was just completely controlling him with the Air Blast. And now Layla has 100% Uber advantage. That is insane for the defensive team. 1 minute and 30 seconds to go. They're actually pushing aggressively, trying to gain as much ground as possible. Joe is just going in, chasing down the med, trying to get him. A few pills going in, but it's not enough. It's like he's dodging these with ease as Joe is about to pay with his life for this aggressive push here. But it's okay because look how far they've pushed all the way to the first point still. And with only 1 minute and 10 seconds on the clock, I really do not think Gimme opponent has a chance for at least the first point on this map here.
I don't even think it's possible at this stage. I think this is just now a DM fest for the logs, for the ego, and I'm sure Feila's ego at the moment is pretty up there because they have just decimated this first round here without any stress at all. Stinger now going down, but it isn't going to matter. Feila is going to take this 1-0 with only 40 seconds left, and you know, since we're really pretty much playing in dead time here now, Jay, what do you think went wrong for Gimme opponent here, and how do you think you can remedy this?
Well, the easiest way to say this is basically Feila had a plan for this map. They had an idea to simply push everywhere together. Like I said before, this is an open map, very long one, which means the team kind of has to stay together in order to get the heals, protect the medic, protect the sniper, which is a very important part of the team, especially here with those long sightlines. And this is what Feila was doing. They were protecting Birdie very, very well. Not Birdie, sorry. They were protecting Kooks very well. I mean, he's top scoring right now. Just allowing him to pick those key classes off the enemy team here. Gimme opponent was losing players every push, at least 1 or 2, to the sniper himself very easily and unnecessarily so. And giving themselves a lot of room to do whatever they wanted. I mean, Layla was just holding that Uber very, very confidently. She wasn't really threatened that much, whereas Nidstang had a lot of trouble staying alive, and that was not really his fault either. And many people would just give flack to the medic for not staying alive, but you have to remember that there's 8 other people on the team that can protect him, and that's not always his fault as well. And in this case, unfortunately, Gimme opponent was on the more scattered side. They weren't really coordinated with their pushes or defense. As a matter of fact, they were constantly trying to defend against this death ball with maybe 2, 3, 4 players at most, and whereas Feila was pushing as a whole unit. And in the end, it just turned out to be the success for Feila, and a very quick time on offense, and basically holding a second point confidently. Not much else to say here.
Definitely, I think if there's one thing I think Gimme opponent could try and work on to try and hopefully redeem this map, it is probably to working on getting out a little quicker and not overcommitting to a point. They did heavily on the first point, for example, and they paid for it equally heavily as Feila were just able to storm into second and secure such a good position. And I don't think there was much contest at all in second, and they were able equally then to push that into third, because once again, Gimme opponent were really focused on trying to retake each point when they really had no hope of achieving it. So if they can really do anything, it's just to be reconsolidating and giving up a point and saying, yeah, no, we've lost this. Now we have to just focus on the hold next time.
Yeah, it's all the way in terms of like overcommitting, and I do believe Gimme opponent was overcommitting on some defenses, tried to gain as much as possible on the defensive side. And as a result, they kept losing that level 1 sentry to a very aggressive team of Feila eSports. But the gates are down right now. Birdie is already in position, trying to peek something. Sentry is a good position as well, protected by the heavy here, Kaltu, and making sure he body blocks a little bit of damage with that overheal. And also it protects from the spam, but covering the tracks. Overall, very good position here by Clark. As right now here, Feila is holding fairly steadily. Gimme opponent are a bit scared to move in. They're trying to get their players and key players in positions. With that wrangled mini sentry, it's going to be very difficult for them to push.
Yeah, they're not really having any luck at getting in, taking any ground. As I say that though, Kaltu going down along with Joe. They both get killed by Murphy in an Uber exchange. However, Koff returning the favor there. He's getting so many kills. He takes down 3 consecutively. Tuja following up, takes down Justice, and now there's going to be a small potential repush for Envision as Thero and Nidstang are in a decent position to do so. But Clark kills Nidstag, who was just helping pushing the sentry. They were not paying attention to that sentry that's still up there, and it's just on a rampage at the moment. It's on a 4k at the moment, 5k. It can't be even taken down. Clark's wrangling it now. What an absolute boss he is. Completely halted that. They are still going to be backing out because they don't have enough players, but now Layla is going to hold a decent advantage for this second point. What a play by Clark.
And a very good decision as well to back out instead of trying to get out of the first point as much as possible. A very sound decision, and ultimately allows the engineer to build up another level 3 for the second point defense rather than sacrificing himself possibly and his team's chance at even looking at the second in terms of defending. But yeah, very sound decision here. Layla has 100% Uber charge, Nidstang only in 50, and it might be just Gimme opponent will have to wait a little bit, all dry push and try to force it out there in the bad spot right now. Nidstang once again a little bit over extending here. I don't think they know that the enemy medic has 100% Uber charge here. Pushing into, and there it has been popped. Yes, Layla on a little bit low health there, popping, but didn't quite manage to get the enemy medic. And this time, Nidstack is going to be the one having the Uber advantage here. But look at this defensive team. Mezzo is doing quite a lot of work on the background as well. Birdie going down, freeing up a lot of space for the other sniper. And now they're pushing Nidstack, just going with the Uber charge, pushing with Stingen as well, trying to get some ground, trying to protect themselves. But they didn't notice that the enemy team just goes into the back area around the rocks and cleaning up the entire team. Nidstack going down as well as Murphy and Tuja as well. A little bit too slow, they're heavy as the team is currently pushing slowly in, using that distraction.
Stingen just walked in from behind, from that under route that they were just holding in, and just two-shotted Layla. No one was watching the flank there, no one behind, and it cost the medic her life. Kakautu also gets picked off by Birdie, and now we have a good potential for Gimme opponent to push this forward. Nidstang going to be playing on a decent advantage at about 40%. Layla only just respawning. They could be pushing this straight in now as Mezzo goes down there to worry about the spy picking them off. They could easily be pushing this round, but they are going to be holding off a bit. They're not. I don't know if they're trying to wait for this full Uber before they push in. It didn't work too well last time, and at this point, Layla's going to be able to get back into house. Joe and Kalsu are going to regroup with her, and they're going to be able to set up the same hold as before. The sentry playing passive at the moment. Flank keeping a BDI on it. Mezzo gets picked off once again. Birdie doing a little bit better in denying his team this time. But as I say that, Therum and Stingen go down as the Uber's exchanged. Nidstang was too late to pop it. Kakautu's going to be caught out though. I think he was just for Layla to try and exit here, but she's being chased heavily. She's getting out. She's so weak, and now Two going to be playing that himself. He's equally weak on 100, and Layla might be able to get out here. No, she isn't. She's going to Joe too going to get taken down, and at this point, this is an easy map for Gimme opponent. They don't have to worry at all. Only 2 up. Clark and Kakautu, the only ones who remain. Kakautu is going to be able to get out, and looks like they may be able to turn this into third if they have if they can be quick enough. I don't know if they can though. It looks like already Feila. Oh no, actually no one is currently in the massive house. So they may have to be holding back a little passive as they are. They've already got Koff and Joe playing outside house. Thera's already the first one in to see them. He's trying to get around on the flank there, playing very aggressive. Birdie, however, gets killed by Mezzo. Good backstab there. Up a lot of spec off to hold this angle. There doesn't look Halo want to be pushing in here. As I say, they're doing quite a lot of damage. They have the potential to push in as Thera goes down. And a drop!
Oh.
No, wait, that wasn't a drop. I overhyped that. But Snidstang still getting killed by Koff. That's equally good. They definitely could have potential to push back in here, but Kautu goes down. They are, however, going to push in. Going to take that high ground. They got a bit of trouble from Bees there. He's going to back out. Murphy now playing on the left side there, and but Justice hot on their tail takes down Bees and Murphy. Koff and Tommy now trying to go for the. He gets caught up by Joe, who just body blocked Layla really nicely, and still got the entire Feila combo holding very well up in this top area of the this big house thing. I don't know what it's called.
I would call it just barn. I mean, it's as big as a barn, so it's easy to call it that way. But look at this, Clark just now building a level 3 sentry, building the back, moving it forward alongside with the dispenser. Once again, good play here by the engineers. They never get any love, and I decided to give them some. And here Layla, once again, 100% Uber advantage she had at least, waiting for Nitstang to build his. Right now we have a little bit of a downtime. Both teams are getting ready to push for the next few seconds. Here they're moving from the right side to the barn. There's a spy, and he drops the medic Mezzo, getting that kill just in the nick of time, actually, going in without his team was just too focused on going forward, dropping the medic in such a crucial push. Look at this, only 2 people up for the attacking team as, well, Feila is just completely uncontested at this point. I mean, Layla didn't even have to pop this, and another Uber advantage, still 100%. They're moving actually very aggressively with Joe, trying to get in, going in here, trying to get a few pipes to go, but look at this, Layla jumping up. Oh no.
Mezzo does finally use Layla does finally use Zuba, sorry, but Mezzo getting 2 consecutive picks. I didn't see who they were, but they were very good picks nonetheless. As Thera is still down, and Sodium and Tommy too, and a lot of respawners. Mezzo getting yet another pick on Tuja, the opponent heavy. Have been able to put all the way now into this balcony area. This is so unexpected, but he's coming in behind down Layla, and he's gonna try and get the whip to kill Koff, but he gets swiftly burnt out by Strono. They're all quite weak though, and they're going to have to back up now, and holding on this top barn area. They've still got the level 3. Joe does get killed by Thera. He isn't able to back out, maybe playing a little bit too aggressive after his team decided to pull out of that one, but they're still going to have a fairly good setup here. They've still got the heavy, they've still got the sentry. The sentry's so weak though at the moment. Clark's going to have to try and do something about that, but the Uber comes out now, and they're just going up top there. They do manage to kill Thero, but Clark goes down, Koff, Layla gets killed as well. Tommy 27 with a nice backstab onto Koff and Layla. Gonna give Gimme opponent a very good opportunity for them to push this in. Doesn't look like they're gonna be able to lose this one. I'd be very shocked if anything was to change now. Joe's still holding it, still trying to do anything. Ninstag goes down as well.
Justice, though. Yeah, it was very well played by Justice. They just managed to find this little nook where Tuja was not looking. 2 meat shots, and there goes the medic's advantage here for Gimme opponent. Look at this, Thera just basically trying to throw themselves at the medic, and getting swiftly dealt with by Kooks. Gonna get stabbed here by Tommy. Not much to look at here else, and as well, Gimme opponent finally pushing into the last point in 8 minutes and 3 seconds, capping 3 points. Not an awful time, but not great by any teams by any means either.
Yeah, I mean, this is more of an average time that we were seeing, but if Feila can have the same aggression that they did last game, then they shouldn't have a problem beating this either. And they have opted for a more aggressive hold, but they're getting spammed at the moment. And now with full Uber advantage, Nidstang is in a position here, almost to push in here, but they are playing very aggressive. Feila, it looks like Joe's going to get caught out there. He got caught out by Thero quite nicely, and Layla is going to have to back up quite a bit. They did lose Kautu and Joe and Strone, and that's the drop from a nice kill there. Birdie takes down Layla, and the Uber's straight in now. Nidstag not waiting, not taking any chances. He's going to get disconnected though. Going to manage to surf away. And now they have to play the point of this situation here. They are so weak. Feila are so weak at the moment, but so are Gimme opponents. And they're just getting cleaned up. They can't focus a single target. And now Justice doing a really good job. But Tuja on a 4K just walks straight forward and takes the counter soundburn. And Layla, and that's a wipe.
That's gonna be
Feila,
it. Yeah.
And that's it. 9 minutes 47. Not bad at all. Not bad.
Yeah, you know, especially for a Borneo map, it's actually a very respectable time. It's a very long time and requires basically 2 people to sit on the card 24/7, which makes this map not very interesting to play for the scout and the engineer necessarily on the offense team. But on defense, you have so much room to work with, and Clark and his team doing so much work as well. I mean, Clark with that amazing spot there, he actually surfed a rocket into in Barn on the 3rd point on this little ledge, I do believe. Well, he was basically standing mid-air and he had overview over everything that was going on, and as well no one actually expected him to be there. And then on the last point, Murphy actually on the offensive team managed to jump on the fence and standing basically on nothing but thin air, took down Kaltu and I believe one more person there. Maybe that was looking for the medic pick, but he didn't quite get it. But it was a very interesting spot to look at, and I do believe you guys on stream saw that as well. And I love these kind of things, you know, like it brings back the joy in Highlander, trying to find those little things that you can abuse, and then eventually Valve just patches them out. But as we're getting ready to start again here, Murphy and his team here, Nidstang, whole Gimme opponent team is defending with Sentry is sitting on top of the first point directly, and right now this is Feila eSports trying to push in, trying to gauge the situation and see what they can get out of it.
Yeah, they're already starting to make their way up pretty quickly up left side now. B's going to get taken down, but Samban going down in return. So nothing really changing there. Koff getting a pick onto Murphy, and Sodium going down as well. That's going to leave the Sentry very vulnerable. In fact, it's snapped. But I was not expecting that. The what is that? Not the power jack. The sledgehammer for Pyro. I forget the name now. The home wrecker actually saves the Sentry, but it's going to go down once again, and as is Thero, as is Tuja and Birdie. Wow, Mezzo just on a huge chain stab. He's been turning up big time this game, consistently getting the frags, and now they're going to walk in for free. Layla's going to have not a full revanche. It's still going to be equal. They've opted to back out this time instead of contesting second, and they're already building a Sentry now in Barn.
It's too late.
It's going to go down straight away. Not a chance. Sodium too. And they haven't even used their Uber yet. Finally the Uber comes out and he picks off Thero and Officer B's, and now the counter comes out from Barn as this is looking a little bit favourable for Gimme opponent. It looks like Feila's going to have to back out here. They are possibly going to try and rotate and push into Barn here. In fact, they may even push under, but a nice little drop stab onto Stronate there, and also going down as well. Might just slow him down a little bit. However, Koff turning up once more, takes down Birdie, takes down Stingen, and that's now just tickling the point a little bit. They're trying to push this card up the ramp. You've got, however, Thero is going to deny all attempts at there, and Justice is going to get taken down.
Yeah, well, look at this. Murphy's going in. Thero as well. Joe actually gets a bit. Look at this. Joe gets a pipe on Nidstag, getting Nidstag down. And once again, the medic for the defensive team is not pressing for the next team fight, as Layla is reaching 100% Uber charge with full team basically at the ready. Calder just needs a little bit more health there, but they're pushing in regardless and have all this room to work with. Only level 2 Sentry being set up by Sodium on the balcony with not many other people to work with, and there he goes. Kooks just takes him out just like that. Uber has been popped just in case, so there's nothing bad happens. Layla only half HP, so it's better off to pop it rather than drop it. Pushing on the 3rd point with relative ease. 7 minutes and 20 seconds to go on the clock, and well, Nidstang and his team have to do something really interesting right now. Tuja almost dying there to this push by Feila eSports team, and Layla is quite a lot of trouble trying to get out of this alive, dropping their Kalto and Joe. However, the cart is still being pushed. Birdie making sure that it does not get pushed too far yet, and it's currently stuck in the middle of the tunnel.
Yeah, it's fairly well pushed there. Birdie holding down that sideline so no one else can get in there, but it's not going to matter because the Feila combo is just going to push it straight away, and Nidstang going down already to Stronate. He was wasting no time in securing yet another Uber advantage for Layla. Now with 100% Uber, they're going to use it straight in, pushing up this right side of Barnyard, already taking up so much space. Their Sentry's already gone down, and it looks like the soldiers going to go down as well. Sodium, the inch 2, but Kaltu's going to get picked in return. Layla going to get taken down by Sting in there, and Joe only going to be killing him, but it's all a little too late, as now, once again, Nidstank going to have a small Uber advantage. He's got to hold it though. May have an opportunity to hold this top barnyard area without Feila's medic. Going to have to fall back a little bit. Clark goes down as well. They are pushing the cart in a little bit, but they're going to have to fall back now. This is the opportunity for Gimme opponent to set up securely. The only contest from Stronate. He's going to get picked off. No, he's not. He gets the reflect. What a nice play there. Mezzo takes down Birdie as well, and this isn't all over yet for Feila even. They could just be walking back in on this with no sniper. It's possible, but they got to worry about that Uber disadvantage. They're going to have to think of something here.
Yeah, and here, last push actually I was thinking about it, how Feila eSports were really aggressive just as now as they're pushing into the enemy team. It was a very good idea, and well, hold on for a second, as the Uber has been popped by the defensive team for some reason, but it was a little bit too late as the Layla managed to get out with full HP and a full Uber advantage here. They're getting in with Joe right now, trying to get down the sentry. They know they spotted it, they're gonna pop any second. Now there goes. A few pipes and sticks is enough to take the sentry gun down. Sodium is trying to get away with his life. Joe just jumps in, takes down Birdie as well. And trying to get some more. Joe's still behind. Joe is still doing so much trouble taking down this thing. Not quite yet. This thing dodging the last stick there. And protected by his teammates. Was very close for that medic to go down again. Thankfully, this thing managed to dodge it and save his life with 75% Uber charge at the go. Wow, what a play was that by Joe. That was something else.
He's fearless indeed. He just doesn't give a heck at all. He just jumps in. He's going to go for that risk. I've seen him do it before. I used to play with him and he hasn't changed at all, but it's good to see every now and then he pulls off just an absolutely incredible play, and it is insane to watch and it's insane to play with that man. And now Layla's going to be holding a small disadvantage. They're going to lose Sandbag and Kaltu, and the Uber's going to come out. However, Layla's going to have to fall back here. It looks like she's going to be able to get out. Don't actually know where she is at the moment, but she's now got full Uber, and yeah, there she is. She's playing nice and far back. Joe's going to be there to respawn, and they're going to be able to maybe walk forward here. Koff's just holding that sideline now quite effectively. He's going to try and get a peek here, try and get a good pick. Not sure if he can see anything there, but the Uber's going to come straight out. Tuja just going to try and back out there with a fist of steel. Looks like he might be able to get away. The Uber hasn't been as successful as I would have anticipated there as the Wrangle Sentry takes down Joe, and they're going to have to back out of this once again. Now, Nidstang going to have a nice Uber advantage of about 40%, and Layla going down is going to certainly help that. Kaltu too, and the only upside to that is Sodium going down. The Sentry could go down as well, but it's not going to mean much because they can't push this without a medic. Nidstang now 75% Uber. This is looking quite optimistic for Gimme opponent if they can just bunker down and get a good hold here.
Yeah, well, Layla, once again, Feila eSports, just doing all the job there has to be done, you know, pushing aggressively and with the whole team. Joe's very low here and he's gonna die, unfortunately, but pushing in right now. Nidstag 100% Uber charge, a very bad spot for Layla to be in as, well, Pharaoh is just pushing in, and the W plus M wants her no contention whatsoever. A bit weird spot to pick, really. You really usually don't want to go for right, especially if the enemy medic has the full Uber advantage and safe at spawn. And Nidstag managed to save his Uber, but right now Sodium has a little bit of trouble here. Mezzo just going in and stabs the engineer, kills the sentry as well. What a play here by the Spy, once again proving to be a very important member of his team, freeing up a lot of space for Feila here, and once again Layla going down, unfortunately, next again.
Nonetheless, it's not going to matter though, because they've just pushed the car so far just in time. But Mezzo gone on a 7 streak, takes them off of these and Birdie, and that's so many picks coming in for both sides. And now Nidstang and Tommy are the only ones up. Tommy's going to be trying to hold it by himself, but it's not going to be enough there. And Stronate's just going to push it straight into the car. Pharaoh just jumping straight into the pit that was just made by a victory for Feila, and that is going to be it. That is points to Feila. That is GG. I don't play more than one map in UGC if I'm not mistaken, and yeah, wow, well played for Feila. They had some trouble on the second there, but they were still able to carry on with that momentum and still able to equal enough of those advantages to hold victory. Not as quiet as we saw for the first time, you know, win's a win nonetheless.
Yeah, I'm just taking a quick look at the logs. You know, logs are everything in this game. I'm not sure if Wiethoofd has them at the ready. but just a quick just summary of what happened here. Joe N is actually top scoring here with 27 kills. Mezzo is second, 23, and then it's, I do believe you said 147 is Justice on Scout, who played for Feila, is on 21. So top 3 killers in the game were all from Feila eSports, doing a massive amount of work, especially Joe here helping, you know, Layla stay alive. Layla actually died one more time than Nidstang. Nidstang having 9 deaths, Layla having 10, despite having the usual feel that Nidstang was going down way more. But generally speaking, you know, while the stats are actually quite close, with all the team members having a similar amount of kills or damage, you could just easily say by how the teams played that Feila had the plan for this map, and the plan was just simply to stick together and be as aggressive on offense as possible, usually even covering way more ground, as you saw on the third point, especially just trying to get all this area for themselves, not allowing the enemy team to set up, and even delaying this setup as much as possible if they were going to die, because it is so important to, especially on this map, to simply just get this high ground, get those important positions up, and not allow the enemy team, the defensive team, to just properly set up with a level 3. That's a crucial thing, especially for Borneo, which is, you know, like I said before, an open map, very long one, with a lot of downtime where you can just build up defenses. So, all in all, Feila, congratulations, getting first points in the UGC League. I believe 23rd season of that going on already, and it's been so many seasons.
Wow.
Still remember season 6, and it was like, oh, season 6, so many seasons behind us, and now you look at 23rd season of EGC, and it just blows your mind. But I believe that'll be it from us, Chando. You have any last words?
No, other than that, yeah, congratulations to Feila on picking up first point, and looking very strong, and we're going to be doing our best with KritzKast to cover as much as we can for UGC, and hopefully we can get one next week. Well, I don't know who's going to be playing, but we'll post it on that. And other than that, really, thank you to KritzKast for casting this game, and thank you for the players. And yeah, do you have anything else to say, Jake?
Well, the last words is just, if you're still with us here, still listening to our dribble, we're going to be casting every Monday from now on, and every week we're going to be casting a UGC game, depending on what game kind of is going to be going. We're going to be choosing a game and then casting it. Hopefully, you'll be able to tune in and enjoy the games as much as we do. But that is it for now. Feila eSports obviously taking the win over Gimme opponent, taking the first points in the season, and definitely a lot more games to come. Again, thanks Wiethoofd for the amazing production behind the camera. He's the man, he's the brain of the whole operation, so big, huge thanks to him. And well, I do believe we'll be signing off. My name has been Jake. Today with me was Chando on the casting desk, and hopefully we can see you soon.